Hello. So today I want to talk about buying a house in Thailand. More specifically, buying a house on a budget in rural Thailand. So I'll tell you my story about how I came to be in Thailand. What happened was we were having trouble paying our mortgage on top of all our daily expenses, and we got our financial advisor around to discuss what options we had. So our financial advisor, he said, well, the way we could reduce our payments a little bit would be to remortgage and have an interest-only mortgage. And I said, interest only? What does that mean? He says, you're not paying anything off the original loan. All you're paying is the interest payments. I said, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm not getting anywhere. I said, do we have any other options? And he said to me, something I'll always remember, it changed my life. He said to me, well, you could always sell your house and emigrate. He told me he'd known many of his customers that had done the same thing. So immediately a big light bulb came up above my head and I thought, that sounds like a good idea. And so 6 months later, the house was sold, and I didn't know where I was going to go. I wanted to emigrate somewhere. I was originally thinking of Tenerife or Spain, but some friends were coming to Thailand, so I joined them and I came to Thailand. And that was 2006, so 19 years ago. So fast forward, here we are in rural Thailand. I'm married now with 2 children. And the thought of owning a house didn't really appeal to me after the nightmare of the mortgage situation in England. But when we looked into the cost of building a house in rural Thailand, it was very cheap. And so we got a builder around, and his architect showed us some drawings, discussed what we wanted, and we ended up with the house that we have now, and the price was 650,000 baht, which equates to roughly 20,000 pounds, maybe 20,000 US dollars, maybe 18,000 pounds, something like that. So now here we are, mortgage free, because we paid it in installments. We managed to save up the money to pay it in installments, as they did each section of the building stages. Then we make a payment, and so now I've got my own house, got no mortgage, don't pay any council tax, no rates, no extra payments, VAT or anything like that. I'm relatively can live here very cheaply. The cost of living in Thailand is so cheap, you can literally live on half the money that you would need in England. So what can you get for 650,000 baht? Well, come with me and I will show you. So this is our house. This is rural Thailand. We're surrounded by fields. Got rice field over here, sugarcane field here. This is the lane that takes us out of the village to a place called Boyai. Boyai is in the district of Nakhon Ratchasima. So this is what we got for 650,000 baht, about 18,000 pounds. In fact, it was about 17,000 pounds when we actually bought it, which was about 4 years ago now. So you got to bear in mind, you can't expect Western quality, but you're getting a home very cheaply and without a massive great mortgage. That's what you have to consider. So the build took about 6 months to do. Fairly straightforward. They did have a stage where they had another job to do, so they went off for about a month and stopped work for about a month. But overall, the total build went quite well. So the roof is a tin roof, but I insisted that we had insulation stuck to the underside of the roof. They said, oh no, you don't need that, but I insisted, and it does make a big difference. So I would definitely recommend putting insulation underneath your roof. It costs an extra 20,000 baht, I think it turned out, to do the whole roof with insulated sheets, but it's well worth it. So we've got a nice patio here, which was all included in the price. Also included was the border around the house. Not a particularly good job, but it's better than nothing. The doors and windows are not too bad. The doors are reasonable, patio doors, but the windows, if I'd had a choice, I would have preferred to get plastic. I don't really like these aluminium windows. The problem with these windows is you get lots of lizards and bugs getting into the windows. They can still crawl through the windows even if they're closed. So this is the main living room area. As you can see, it's not very much furniture in here because we don't really spend a lot of time in here, to be perfectly honest. We've got a television up there, but we've never watched it. We've never used it. Basically, we just use this as a kitchen. We cook in here. Most of the times we'll either eat on this balcony or we'll go into the classroom and eat because they've got air conditioners in there. The classroom and that was not included in the price. That was what I did after the build. So it's just a one bedroom. It's just a one bedroom. Really decent sized bedroom. You could probably get 2 double beds in here if you wanted to. The air conditioner wasn't included, that was extra. So in this bedroom, and then we got a bathroom. Quite simple bathroom. The shower was extra, I paid extra for that, and the toilet was included, the sink was included. I've had to replace the tap since we've lived here, and I had to put down new tiles on the floor since we moved in because the original tiles were not done very well. So as I said, it's Thai quality, so don't expect it to be perfect, but you get what you pay for basically. If you want to spend 2 or 3 million baht on a house, you can obviously get a lot better quality, but then you've got to think about paying the mortgage to pay it off. So this is the second bathroom, similar to the first one. small sink, toilet, shower. I've had to add the shower in. So I wanted before we moved in, we said we wanted a shower screen, but they said there was not enough room. So in hindsight, I would like to have had the bathrooms be a bit bigger, so we could have had a cubicle for the shower. But not to worry about that, I'm quite happy with it in the end. So the kitchen, all these kitchen units were included in the price. The oven, I bought that extra and I fitted that myself because the builders didn't know how to fit it, and I fitted the hob. So they just put in a worktop and I had to break out the worktop to fit in the oven and the hob. They did actually fit the extractor fan, which we bought, but the units, they came with the price. The tiles here I put on myself. So all in all, for £18,000, you've got yourself a decent room, a decent home. Our boys, when we bought the house, they were quite young, 4 or 5 years old, and so we all sleep in that one bedroom. But they're bigger now, so I think in the future, what we are considering is putting an extension on this side. Put an extension on this side, so a lean-to extension, so we can have an extra bedroom. The shed wasn't included, I built that myself. But this is what you can expect for roughly £18,000. And it's an affordable home where you're not going to have a massive great mortgage and struggle to pay your mortgage payments every month. So as for the land, this land was given to us by the parents. It was rice fields originally. There is actually 4 rye of land, so it's quite a big piece of land. But I think the cost of one rye, the enough space to build this, maybe you're probably looking at maybe 400,000 baht, something like that. So you can get yourself a nice, quiet, relaxing home in Thailand for a reasonable budget. If you want to have better quality, better materials, no, you're going to have to add on more money. I've seen people build 2-3 million baht houses, got a swimming pool, and if that's what you want, then that's what you can have. But if you just want to live here on a budget, small budget, live in nice peace and quiet, we have no neighbours nearby, so it's nice and quiet. In the 4 years that we've lived here, we've never had any problems. Nobody's tried to steal anything, and no problems with neighbours. So this is life in Thailand. If you'd like to know any more, got any more questions that you'd like me to answer, feel free to comment and I will answer all the questions that are put to me. Okay, I'll catch you on the next video. Bye bye.